Hello guys, welcome to another trade breakdown video. Today I'll be breaking down the trade that I've taken on Monday, 2nd of December 2024. As you can see, I'm getting PTSD from here. Why? Because when I was backtesting on 2023, December, January and February were the worst month of my backtesting results. Those were the months where I got the worst results, if it makes sense. So in this case, also now December has arrived and I know for a fact that December is gonna be slow, and that's totally fine. December is going to be slow and that's totally fine, and we will adapt according to the conditions in December. So now it's just the starting of December, so let's see. I'm backtesting the Monday's data, and now I'm looking for buys because my weekly bias is bullish and my daily bias is also bullish. And whenever my weekly and daily bias is bullish on Monday, that is when I tend to look for a trade on Monday. And when it is not, and then I don't look for a trade. Simple as that. So here on DXY there is a change of character to the downside, so we can anticipate a pullback, but obviously we don't predict that. We adapt to the conditions, we don't predict. So obviously as of now the price is looking like it's going down, and on GU it's looking like it's going up. That is why I will adapt to the markets and look for buys rather than sells. So also on H4 there is a break of structure here. The market is literally bullish on the H4 time frame, as you can see. So it makes so much of sense to go with the trend on the H1. On the H1 we can clearly see there is a beautiful demand zone here and also a demand zone right around here. That is when I wait for the Asian range to close, because before the Asian range closes we don't do nothing. And if I show you the DXY, on DXY the previous day high was already swept, and as you can see the previous day low hasn't been swept on GBP USD, which with the bias being bullish, it makes sense for GU to not go and it doesn't need to go and sweep the previous day low because DXY has already done it. And my bias is bullish, so I only use SMTs with my bias. So bias. And also there was ISM manufacturing PMI news, no New York session news. So this was a beautiful trade that I've taken in my session. In this trade, I have learned one thing, which was Monday was a beautiful MAC model with the bias being bullish, and also there was no beautiful zone to trade from, so we could have considered a MAC model. So yeah, there was no clear beautiful zones, but there was a zone you can argue on the M5, but we don't consider that, which was not one of the strongest, but the move did happen, right? But before going to the upside, my bias was bullish. Even though my bias was bullish, first the Asian high got swept, right? Look at it. Focus and you will learn a lot of things here. The Asian high got swept. When the Asian high got swept, then we could have taken a sell position here. Why? To be honest, this was not with my bias, and in my second phases I will not take this trade. I will only take a trade with my bias, which will be this buys, a beautiful buy opportunity from here. But because I am trading with the higher time frames, and in this case I could have taken this taken this sells right here, could have, but I didn't, because it was not one of the cleanest. As you can see on the M5, it reacted from a M5 supply zone, gave us the change of character in my session, gave us the OTE level entry or equilibrium entry, I believe. Yes, everything we see in a MAC model was present here, and also this trade played out, but I didn't take this trade because it was not with my bias. But in the first phase you can take this trade, because the market is not perfect. You will not always get the perfect opportunities. Always there is a perfect opportunity for me. I will look for a perfect opportunity for my funded accounts, but on my challenge accounts I can also trade these moves right here, which happens very, very frequently, and I have seen it so many times, and I have seen it happen so many times. So now let me show you the entry. So clearly this was a buy opportunity from that demand zone, lower high, lower low, and I don't enter at the lower low, right? I will wait for the change of character, because until and unless it changes character, we don't know that the market wants to go up now. So now it has finally changed character right around here, and after the change of character I enter at the OTE level entry right around there. That red line is the OTE entry, and this is the equilibrium. In this case the equilibrium didn't make sense because it was a very big stop loss, so I waited for the OTE level to enter. The price went down to the OTE level and then rejected. That is when I enter. While you are trading a MAC model, you can't wait for the rejection to happen, bro. You have to enter at the equilibrium, trusting your strategy, trusting your believing in your strategy, and believing in your experience. If you wait for a rejection to happen, the price will go without you and you will get a very bad entry, right? But in this case, just because I was confident in my trade and I waited for the equilibrium or the OTE, I entered when the price was there, regardless of if it was a win or a loss, doesn't matter. Regardless of it, I took a trade. And if I did that, the MAC model, you should trade like that, just like I have explained it to you guys. So this was a beautiful win position here, 1:3 risk to reward. We got our 1:3, and I have also journaled this trade. As you can see, it was a beautiful trade. And yeah, we can take the MAC model entries both in our bias and non-bias in the first phase. Keyword in the first phase, because if you wait for the perfect setups every single time, you will take a lot of time to pass or blow perform challenges. It's better to pass or blow perform challenges soon, so that you can have a buffer to trade from, right? And that's a business. Trading perform is a business. You treat it like a business. And yeah, this was the trade, a beautiful trade after a long time. And yeah, afterwards in New York session, as you can see, the sells happened. The buys happened on London, and the New York session was literally headed to the downside, but we don't care, right? We care only 7 to 10 a.m. UK time, in which we did got our move. We got our move, we bounced from the market. Then just because we caught a trade on London, that is why I didn't took a trade on New York. So now going on the next day, my bias may change, and yeah, let's see. We'll catch you on the next video. Hope you guys learned something from this.